This is Wendy Letven speaking to you about my work in paper. And this is a piece called Time Flies that's in the exhibit Transformed, Paper in Dimension, that is at the Hunterdon Art Museum in New Jersey. The piece is mixed media and consists of a number of different paper elements. It has laser cut paper shapes, it has hand cut pieces, it has sheets of paper with ink textures on them that are tacked onto the wall. And there's also sheets of paper that have been cut into that are revealing reflective paper that has another kind of dimensionality. I'm also working with this black string in this piece. The string creates tension between the shapes, and it also creates a sort of drawing on the wall using the dark line. And it serves to pull the shapes that are, and pieces that are in most relief, that are suspended from the wall, it pulls them back to the wall. So it's taking things that are 3D and pulling them back into the 2D, which is something that I like to explore in the work. I like to explore that duality, especially with paper. The other thing you might notice is that I work with a variety of different forms and lines and patterns, and they're all juxtaposed in these compositions in different ways, and in a way that looks rather organic, even though that many of the shapes are very geometric. So that says something about the way things are constructed out there in the world. I find that these very simplified forms become very suggestive to the viewer. So the people, when looking at the work, will see different things and read different things into it. For example, I was looking at a vertebrae when I drew this, but I hear from people most often that this reminds them of some sort of a crown of thorns. And another piece over here is one that has this network of lines that you might see in a river, but was actually drawn from a photograph I found of a bloodshot eye. So the connections that one can make between these things is also another reason why I enjoy and am interested in simplifying them. The other piece that I have in the show is something that I call a drawing or a knife drawing. And I start this sort of piece with a piece of paper, and without drawing in pencil, I just start cutting into the paper, not really with an idea of what the overall composition will be, but with the goal of creating something that has a sort of flow or energy with this particular pattern that I'm using. And the overlapping lines is the thing that creates that energy, but it also serves to hold the piece together. And it's a fun piece to do because I really don't know what the composition will look like until I cut it out completely and then tack it up on the wall and see it with its shadow behind it. So I hope you've enjoyed hearing me talk a little bit about my work, and I hope you enjoyed this fabulous exhibit at the Hunterdon Art Museum.